My name is Matt Sack. I've been at Feldman Imports for about 8 months now, and I am a salesperson here. What led me to working at Feldman Imports? So of course, I knew the next move for me was Mercedes, and it was between two dealerships really. It was Sears and Feldman Imports, and interviewed at both of them. And Feldman Imports was my last one here, and just when I walked in, I just felt like part of the family. And the biggest thing for me is I was gonna have to commute from Mankato for about a solid 4 months, and that's about a 140-mile round trip. And I happened to be leasing a 19 Ram pickup with a big V8. So of course the fuel economy wasn't very ideal for driving 5 days a week with that much mileage. So before I even got into my training, they were already working at getting me pulled out of my leased truck that I had been in for 6 months. And I didn't see any effect from that on my current lease. They essentially bought out the lease, and that for me, I was instantly sold on the dealership. It was like, wow, you're gonna bend over that far backwards to make me a part of your team. And that alone was like, this is phenomenal. I would have never thought that a dealership would go that far for someone they haven't even seen out on the floor yet. I'm just essentially selling myself as a salesperson down at Honda. So I would say that. Outside of work, I like to work out, of course. I love to hang out with my dog Shadow. He's a 70-pound Australian Shepherd, so on the larger side, but I love to take him out on runs, take him to the dog park, and of course just cuddle, of course, with having such a big dog. The things I like working about Feldman Imports are, just the learning experience that I'm getting here. The management team is fantastic. Some of the sales guys that have been here for, over 10 years, 20 years has been really helpful. But more than anything, just the whole family idea of being family owned. Right off the bat, that's what really sold me on the dealership. You guys took me in, right off the bat, and helped me out in many different ways to make this job opportunity work for me. Something that's on my bucket list, I would have to say taking like a month trip to Dubai. I've always seen all the crazy pictures of Dubai, the big buildings, the nice cars. It just really seems like a place that, I don't think I'd be able to take like a 1 week or 2 week trip. I think I would have to spend like a month there. An embarrassing moment at work, I would have to say it was probably my 2nd month in here. And I had my numbers all goofed up, and I thought we were countering in a trade, or actually no, I didn't think we were countering in the trade, and it turned out we were countering in the trade. So I was probably $10,000 apart from this guy. So I went up to the desk and I was talking to my manager, Mike, and I'm like, hey, I really screwed up, man. And he's like, what'd you do? And I told him I didn't think the trade was yet countered in. And he goes, oh man, that's a big issue. And he's like, I need you to go out there and tell him that you messed up. And I'm like, kind of looking at him to kind of try to help me out, like, you want to come out with me and tell him I messed up? And it took a lot of courage, to go out there and in fact tell him, I was off by about $10,000. But it really felt good to be able to have the confidence to go out there. And I think the fact that I went out there and described to him, hey, I made a mistake. He seemed fine with it. Of course, not completely fine with it, but he felt, I think, good about the fact that I was able to come out there and let him know that I had screwed up by $10,000. The best advice that I would give a new salesperson at this company would be, 1, to be yourself, but 2, more than anything, listen. Listening to your clients, listening to your managers, of course, listening to your managers, you're gonna learn. You've always got opportunity to learn. Even when you think you know it all, you'll always be taught something new. And I think listening to your customers, again, they'll tell you how to sell them a car. You just gotta be able to take that in, listen, and get all the details. Write them down, take them in, plant them in your head, because I think that really helps you out, of course, on the manager side, being able to learn and become a better salesperson. And of course, listening to your customer, it really makes the sale easy.